Hello, adventurers. Andy from Twisted Narrative here, and welcome to your daily dose of Shadowdark chat. The dailies have been a bit strange over the last few days due to us kind of delving and creating the halls of the Idiot God Mega Dungeon. We'll be continuing on with those, but when there's announcements, when there's things that I kind of want to bring to the larger audience in case you haven't seen it. I like to do these very short Shadow Dark daily chats. So last night I noticed on Twitter there was a tweet from the Arcane Library, and it was all about modes of play. This was a page from, I believe, 111, page 111 from most likely the Cool Rules, which I am very excited to be waiting for and get my hands upon it. But modes of play, mix and match these optional rules to create new challenges and gameplay styles. What I love about this is what I've loved about Shadowdark since I came across it, which is relatively recently, only over maybe about 3 weeks, um, is that their writing, the Arcane Library's writing, is concise and clear, but it manages to communicate. It's ironic that I stumbled over the word communicate there. Um, communicate so much information in such little space. But there's more to this than just what's written here, which I'll come on to in a minute. So suggested modes of play are blitz mode. Light timers last 30 minutes rather than 60. You need to keep that pace up. Chaos mode, re-roll initiative at the start of every combat round. Again, I quite like this. It stops any kind of metagaming or so and so's going next, so I will do this instead. You never know really what is going to happen and who is going next. So chaos mode can be fun. And then there is the deadly mode, as if Shadowdark could be more deadly, and obviously it can. In this mode, death timers are always 1, and DC 18 intelligence to stabilize dying. So death timers, normally I believe it's 1d4 plus constitution modifier rounds before someone reaches that death state. In the deadly mode, they have 1 round. There is something even more. Fatality mode reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Characters die at 0 hit points, so there is no really death saves at all. You just die. Then there is grinder mode. You only regain hit points equal to 1 roll of your hit point die and 1 stat damage per stat each, with each successful rest, so you don't heal up full heals if you manage to rest. Dwarves roll with advantage. Spellcaster chooses 1d4 lost spells to regain after a successful rest, so your resources are much more difficult to refresh. Hunter mode, defeated monsters grant experience equal to half their level rounded down, so you can get experience through kills rather than just loot and boons. Momentum mode, you have advantage on checks to repeat an action you failed if you try the exact same action again on your next turn. So what's interested here is it says if you failed. So if you failed an attack roll and you take an attack roll again, you have advantage on it. This speeds up potentially combat. It's used in another system that I'm familiar with, or a similar sort of mechanic anyway, and it's quite good if you if you want the action to keep moving, hence it called momentum rolled. Damage die explode. If you roll maximum damage on a die, roll again and add it to the total. There is no cap. Again, I'm familiar with explosions and it's quite exciting. Not only can critical hits be exciting, but the fact that if you do 1d4 damage and you get a 4, you roll it, and if you get a 4, you roll it again, and if you get another 4, you roll it again, can be devastating, and it's fun to watch those games take place. And then pulp mode. There are no maximum luck tokens that a player can have. Players start every session with 1d4 luck tokens. You can use luck tokens to turn a hit into a critical hit. You can use luck tokens to take an extra action. You can use luck tokens to force the GM to re-roll a roll. I mean, this is great if you want something that is a different flavour and sort of larger than the experience that Shadowdark previously would have given you in the quick start rules. This now makes it into a much more high fantasy based game, and there's all sorts of shenanigans now you can do with luck tokens. I love this. I love modes of play. It fundamentally gives you options now, different styles for one shots, for con games, for potentially campaigns, and you can change the pace. And there's nothing to say that you can't use modes of play within a campaign as well. If they go into a deadlier place, then we could be on fatality mode. If they go into a safer area, it could be pulp mode. If they go on a special quest to hunt down a group of monsters, it could be hunters mode. So you can vary this within the same at the same table in a campaign if you wanted to. My thoughts on this is I'm very pleased that the Arcane Library has kind of put this on the page. It kind of shows that the writers of Shadowdark are more than happy for you to take the rules and use them in any kind of way that you want them to. I mean, that is kind of a said already. It's sometimes many other roleplay systems have it as a sort of a written or an unwritten rule, but it tends to be only one sort of line, and it tends to be, hey, it's your table, have fun with this, which is fine and appropriate. But with it put in black and white in the core rules, just a single page like this, it means that as a GM and as players, we've got guidance now of, hey, should we do this? Hey, should we do that? Rather than it being, I think we should play it like this instead, and it's suddenly not official but homebrew. These are different modes of play. They haven't even said optional rules. It's just saying choose the style of game you want and enjoy it at your table. And I love that. It kind of gives us agency, that we're still playing Shadowdark, but we're playing it in a different mode. So thank you very much for that. I genuinely, every time there's a page that comes out, I get very excited to sort of digest what is written and also what isn't written. So there we go. That is that chat today, somewhat less scripted and more heartfelt. As usual, the links to the other videos that we've put out and to the Arcane Library are in the comment section below. Don't forget that to watch out for another daily Shadowdark chat tomorrow. Please give us a like and a subscribe if you like what we're doing, and so you don't miss out on any of our other Shadowdark content. Until then, adventurers, please keep those torches lit.